Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Motrayo, and this is another video. So in today's video we're going to be talking about some questions you should ask before entering the relationship, or some questions after entering the relationship, so that you know what you're gunning for. I feel like some of us fail to ask questions, or some people feel like, what do you want to use the questions to do, or why are you asking these questions? These questions are important. These are the things that shape your relationship. These are the things that helps you to make your decision when choosing a partner to be in a relationship with, or to enter into a marriage. Because on the long run, the reason for being in a relationship is to get married, as the case may be. Because I know that there are some people that don't want to get married, and it's not their fault. And how will you know that this person never wants to be married if you don't even ask questions when you're in relationships, or before entering the relationship? So the first question, I always capitalize on this question so much. The first question that I feel like anybody that is not AA should ask is genotype. If you're not AA, ask questions. Oh, what is your genotype? Like, that's the easiest thing to say. You don't need to wait before you get into a relationship. You don't need to wait before you fall in love with this person before you know their genotype. Once you see that you're getting attached, you're having conversations, you're enjoying it, time and time again, you need to ask, what is your genotype? That's like the first thing that will lead you into the right direction. So if you should continue the friendship you have with this person that is going to lead somewhere, or you should just cut it all off and just let it stay in the friendship level. So if you are not AA, you have no business waiting until you fall in love before asking for a person's genotype. Another question is asking what happened in their previous relationship. Like, you want to know what happened with their ex. This way you are able to analyze your person better. You are able to decipher the thing in your head. Oh, was it the one at fault? Whoever was at fault. You're not here to actually look for the fault, but that way you're able to know the person that you're entering a relationship with better, and whatever caused the rift between them, and how you're going to manage it regardless of whatever it is that you're going into. Like, you already know, you are aware of whatever it is that you're going into. You also want to know if your partner is open to relocating to another country or another state. I've seen a tweet where somebody was saying that he feels for women, that a man will marry you in Lekki and go and have house in Ikorodu, or you'll be with somebody who has aspirations to leave the country. Like, this person wants to go to Canada, this person wants to go to UK, but you are thriving in Nigeria, you are doing better, your goals do not align. So you need to ask these questions to know if this person is open. Okay, in the next 5 years I think I'll be okay to leave the country, or now let us start working on relocation. You need to know what the person's view on relocating to a new state or to a new country. Or probably you're in Lagos, all your life is in Lagos, your business is in Lagos, and your husband or your boyfriend stays in Ibadan or in Abuja. Are you willing to move? Are you willing to live where you are, to go and meet your partner or something, or relocation, anything? You need to ask these questions so that you be prepared for the outcome of whatever it is that you want to do with your life. Or that, okay, this person, our goals align, we have the same mindset. Okay, it won't be a problem entering this relationship, because of course he also thinks that he could relocate, or she thinks that she can relocate, or she thinks that she can move to another state, or we can move to another state together. You also need to ask, what does he or she thinks about the role of a woman and a man in a relationship? What do you think? Do you think that as a woman I must cook, I must clean the house, I must wash plates, I must do all these things? Or you think that, okay, we could bring cleaners to clean the house twice a week, we could have a washing machine, or we have somebody who does the laundry, we could have all of that? Or are you somebody who like fresh meals? I like my meals freshly made, you must cook for me every single day. Or is he a man that does not even care? He does not even bother. If you like, cook. If you like, don't cook. Is ready to eat takeout, whatever it is that is in the house, is willing to eat it with you. Another question is, you want to know if this person is working. What does he do as a person? Is he an entrepreneur? Is he starting up a business? Is he working for somebody? Is he doing 9 to 5? What are his projections? What does he aspire to be? What is he doing? How does he want to achieve his goals? Where does he see himself in years to come? How does he want to handle his life financially? Like, what is he doing for himself or herself, to improve herself and to achieve his or her goals. You want to know this person so that you know if your goals align, if you're kind of people that can hold a family together or a relationship together, and you want to know how you can, support each other and help each other to grow while still being in relationships with each other. I feel like this is very, very important. Like, you need to know how focused and how passionate a person is about, their goals and their career and what it is they want to do. Even if they just want to start learning something, maybe learning tech or something, like, you just want to know how passionate they are, because if they're not passionate, how are they going to help you? How are they going to push you to be better people? I see tweets about people in relationships saying that it was when I met this person that I became more financially aware of some things. I spent less, I saved more. When I met this person, I was able to achieve my long-term goals. This person pushed me. Even some people, it could be when they even started, like maybe probably in universities. I met this person when I was preparing for my jam lesson or exam, and he helped me, read with me. You hear couples saying that their couples would, sit down with them to watch videos or to listen to their courses together with them and break it down to them. So how would you know if this person has these capabilities if you don't even ask? So it's important to ask questions like that. Questions like, what is your deal breaker or your pet peeve? I mean, there are some people that cheating, they cannot stand cheating. And there are some people, couples that don't care, like, in as much as it does not do it to my face, in as much as it's not being disrespectful about it, in as much as it's discreet enough. But some people who have had that trauma, like cheating, they cannot stand it. So you need to know your partner's pet. Because somebody is like, I don't like when you can just pull your clothes and throw it anywhere, or don't pull your slippers before you come in, or there are some little things that some people cannot stand. Like, you see that, you think that this thing is very little, but some people cannot stand it. So you need to know your partner's pet peeves and their deal breakers, the things that for anything in this world they can never take it. You need to know those things, so you know that you put it at the back of your mind, like, okay, this person doesn't like this thing, let me try as much as possible not to do it, because of course you're already aware. So yeah, you should ask these questions. You also need to know your man's view on maybe your finances. Okay, somebody that likes to do 50-50 or 80-20, or is willing to take everything, you just believe in your life and be baby girly. You need to ask these questions that are very, very important, because on the long run, these are the things that you guys are going to fall back on when you go deeper into your relationship. You need to ask questions like, what do you consider inappropriate in relationships? For some people, they could say probably talking to your ex. I don't like a partner who is still in constant conversation with their exes. I don't want that for my relationship. I just want you and I, whatever it is you and your ex have gone through, that's between you guys. It has ended and that's it. I don't want you still being in communication with your ex. Or they could as well come up with a different thing that they feel like is very, very inappropriate in relationships, and your thoughts can align and you guys can work together to make your relationship even more beautiful. You can ask questions like, do you have any childhood trauma? Because believe it or not, I feel like we are shaped by our childhood, the things that we have seen, the things that we have learned from our experiences. In as much as I'm a big I believe deeply in learn to unlearn and to relearn. There are some things that you can never unlearn, and there are some things that you can never relearn. Like, they are part of it. They are the things that shaped you. They are the things that made you who you are. So those things are very, very hard to unlearn and relearn. Very, very important to know if this person has childhood trauma, things that triggers them. I was watching Ultimatum the other day, the new episode that just came out. I already finished it. I finished that show in less than 1 week. I was really interested because it was very, very fun to watch. I was like, I've not seen a very interesting movie in a long time, or reality TV show in a long time. I enjoyed it totally. And then there was this guy Trey. He said he sleeps at the edge of his bed because growing up he didn't have big beds. He had small beds to sleep on, so he's used to sleeping at the edge of the bed. That could not be a trauma, but that was something that he grew up with, and he's still doing it subconsciously. So like, there are some traumas, there are some things that trigger people. So you need to know those things so that you try as much as possible. Also in the Ultimatum, I've forgotten the name of the lady right now. I think Ryan and James. And James had growing up, he lost his father. He had to grow up as soon as possible. He would sometimes hurt himself to feel better. you know, he had a lot of trauma that he was holding back, and which was affecting his relationship with Ryan. And then when he talked about it, you know, they worked together and they've been thriving. They're even supposed to get married in the show. If you have not seen it, you can go and see this, like a free whatever it is for the movie, it's for the reality TV show, right? So talking about your traumas will help your relationship thrive, because how will this person know that you have gone through this thing if you don't tell them? And how would they know that they're supposed to stop some things that they do or some things that they say for jokes without knowing that that thing is actually triggering you? So if you have gone through any trauma, just let your partner know about it, so that, you know, you guys can work together for the better good of your relationship. You also want to ask if this person has a child somewhere. I feel like this is one of the important topics. Like, you don't want to be surprised when somebody brings a 10-year-old child into your home saying that, you know, it belongs to them, or maybe the person dies and then you're just finding out that they have a child somewhere with somebody. I feel like in this age and time, there's a lot of baby mamas. This person has given birth to this person. It could be a childhood mistake, it could be an error, it could be anything. It could be that they were in love and, you know, something happened and everything just went south. But, you know, being open about it, tell your partner. There was one time that a friend of mine shared something on her story on WhatsApp, asking, you know, people to give their opinion. This lady said, you know, she has a son, I don't know how many years old, and then whenever she meets men, she dates them, maybe 6 months, 1 year into the relationship, she now tells them that she has a son, and because of that sole reason they break up with her. And like, that's very, very wrong. Once you start a relationship, you should be able to, even before you start, you should be open about it. Tell the person, oh, this is what's going on with me. I have a child, she stay with my mom, stay with my dad, you know, my parents are taking care of her. Would you be willing to take me as I am? If the person is willing to take you as you are, then of course they're going to stay with you. Or if the person does not want that kind of thing for themselves, at the beginning you already know, you are aware, and they'll just carry their bag and leave. The one that will stay is going to come find you, or you are going to find the person. So there's no need to lie about these things. These things happen. It could be planned or it could be unplanned, like I said earlier, but it has happened. So what are you going to do? You know, just be open about it, and know that if that's kind of family you are willing to, you know, enter into, or that you are willing to be with that kind of person. You might also want to ask if sex is important to the person. Like, is sex important to you? I feel like in marriages, sex is very, very important, but there's a but. There are some people that they want to have sex every single day. I've heard of a story of somebody that the husband wants to have sex every day, suggesting that I was like, oh, I don't mind you staying at home while I do all the heavy lifting, I just want to work. There was one time I even went to an interview and the man was saying that the CEO I'm still going to share that story with you. Like, that was the most traumatic interview that I've gone for all my life. I feel like in this world, men win. They always win, because how will I come for an interview and you're asking me or you're talking about sex? Anyway, that stopped for another day. So the man was like, 80% of the time, what men thinks about is sex. Like, they're just thinking about sex 80% of the time. So imagine that you marry somebody who wants to have sex every day. Do you have the strength? Do you have the energy? There are some days you're tired, you know, you don't want to, or maybe your sex drive are different, you don't have the same thing. You need to talk about these things, you know, sometimes, so that you know how to blend in, and you know how to, you know, meet at the common ground. Even though in this part of the world, I think we hardly have this kind of conversations. I'm not sure, but then it is what it is at the end of the day. You might also want to have questions like, what do you do, or what do you do whenever you have troubles, or you have hard times, or whenever we're having issues? There are some partners that your relationship issues will never stay in your relationship. They'll always take it out to the third party. Either they're telling their friend, or they're telling their family, or they're telling somebody. Like, whenever you guys have issue, any little thing, no matter how small that thing is, somebody is always coming to come and settle it for you. Do you want that kind of person? Or there are people that whenever they are going through anything, they just shut down. They don't want to see anybody, they don't want to talk to anybody, they'll just lock everybody out. Or there are some people that whenever there's issues, you know, they're always crying, they need a shoulder to lean on, they need somebody to encourage them. Or there are people that are always vocal and open about how they want you to handle them and handle things around them. You know, these things are the things that will help your relationship and help you to understand who you want to be with better. Also, you like to ask questions like, how do you want to be loved? Everybody has how they want to be loved. You know, what do you want? I want gifts, you know, quality time, you know, I want to spend time with you, I want us to always be together, all of those things, you know, communicating. I'm big on communicating, all of those things. they make up for how your relationship is going to be. So if you know that this person's love language is buying gifts or quality time, you have to try as much as possible to be available to give that out to them, so that you can get the best in your relationship. You might also want to ask, what's your relationship with your family? You might want to ask the guy what his relationship, or the lady what his or her relationship is with the family. There are some people that they don't have relationships with their family, like they've cut their family off completely. Or there are some people like they are always having issues with their family, and there are some people that their families are loving, they have very good relationship and communication with their family. They are, if you know these things, you know when to butt into their family matter, and you know when to just stay at your own distance when it comes to their family matter. You could try to help, try to resolve some issues if you can, and if you cannot, it is their family, you just need to step back. So I feel like I've said a lot in this video. If you're having issues asking questions, this video can guide you to know the right questions, the proper questions to ask in relationship or in a marriage. And I mean, these questions, you don't have to rush them, and you have to ask them strategically. You don't just sit a person down and start listing out questions that you want to ask this person. No, you have to be very strategic about it. You could just be talking and joking and like, do you want kids? Do you want to have kids? Do you ever want to have kids? You'll be surprised what the person's response will be. No, I've never thought about it. You've never what? You could just throw in questions. How many kids you want to have? You'll be surprised by the person that can just say, I want to have 6 children. And you have told yourself that you never want to have more than 2, or you just want to have 1 kid. Like, this is a very, very nice to have. These conversations are very nice to have, and you should have it in the most random times. You can just tap somebody and be like, do you love me? Where's that coming from? So I feel like they're very important, and the time and the manner with which you ask these questions are also very important if you want to get the truth from whoever it is you're asking the questions from. You have to be strategic, and you have to be calm about asking your questions. You don't just throw questions at them, or you just sit them down. You want to ask all these questions at once. It won't work, because in fact the person will be exhausted. But imagine having a good time, or you're just talking over a topic, a sensitive topic that you have seen online. Like, okay, what's your take on this? What do you think about this? That way you know what they are thinking. There are some times that you could see a video on YouTube and you send it to the person like, okay, just watch this thing, I want to know what do you think about it. Or you see a tweet or a post on Instagram and you just share it and like, oh, what do you think? Do you think this person did well? Do you think this person did not do well? These things will help you to understand your partner better. It will help you to know what they are thinking, how they think, their thought process, and all of that. So I hope that you have learned in this video, you have learned 1 or 2 things in this video, and I hope that you guys really enjoy it, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and yeah, bye.